The last video I posted on YouTube, I left a comment saying that if you wanted to see an in-depth video of me doing the stringers on my 1982 ski Nautique, to let me know, and I actually had someone ask me. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the best explanatory video I can with what I can show you. I didn't record the whole process, but this is what I can explain and show you as of where I'm at now. I want to start by saying how I did everything is not by the book. A lot of people are going to tell you to do it many different ways, but in my case, my stringers were only rotted up to here, this cross member in front of the gas tank. So I went ahead and just cut my floor right in front of the tank, and I cut my stringers. My stringers were rotted up to here, so pretty much what you want to do once you get your flooring out and all your foam out, take all your foam out, it's going to be soaking wet. I used a pry bar, and I just slowly worked my way up, leaving the shell of the fiberglass exposed. And work your way up and rip all your wood out. Best case scenario, you're going to be able to save your wood as a template, but in my case, I wasn't able to. So once you get it down, you're going to want to make yourself a cardboard template, slide it down in here all the way from the front of the stringer to where you're stopping. Slide your cardboard in and just take a Sharpie or a pencil and just mark. Just save the shell. As long as you save the shell, you'll be able to make a good template for a new stringer. That is another reason why I saved this. A lot of people are going to tell you to strip it down all the way, but I had no other way to make the perfect dimensions for my stringer without doing it this way. So that's really my only excuse for doing it this way. So yeah, once you get that board out, go ahead and trace your new one, get it cut, mix up some fiberglass resin, coat your board. Then you're gonna want to take some high strength construction adhesive and just pile it down in the inside of here and set your board down in there. Once you get your board in, I would definitely set some weight on top of here or stand on it. And what I did is I was by myself, so I stood on the boards and I put screws down through the side of the existing shell. I can see if I can find one. Right here, there's a screw right here. So I just screwed all the way along the side. There's another one. Screwed all the way down the side, and then pretty much as soon as you get the board in and in place, you can start sanding all of your fiberglass down. And I would just start glassing. I'm not a professional. I'm not gonna tell you how to do your fiberglassing. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that'll show you how to fiberglass. Definitely not a pro, I'm sure you can tell. But once I got the main stringer glassed, I saved these. So your motor sits here. This is a little piece of fiberglass that like kind of shells to your secondary stringers. I saved this, and I also, once I got the main stringer glassed, I added these pieces on and glassed them in. And then once you get those glassed in, I'll put in pictures and videos of how I built these. So you got these done. Get your OSB plywood, cut them to the floor height you want. You're gonna want it to be level on this secondary stringer in the back where your back piece of wood goes that you can remove. You're gonna want your secondary stringer to be level with this stringer right here. So once you have it level there, you're gonna want to keep it at the height that it is back there. It's not gonna stay the same height as the stringer in the middle of the boat. Keep that in mind. So you're gonna want to keep it level all the way up to here. It's gonna come up on top of this piece that I want to save, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Come up to here, and then this is where it's gonna end, and then I'm gonna build something right here that extends this over to here, because the floor comes from the wall to here, and it comes down over and then up to here. It sits on top just like this. You don't want to lay I'll explain all the rest of this later on in the video. But once I get these, I got them glued in with more construction adhesive, and then once they cured with the glue, I went ahead and started fiberglassing. Once your first layer of fiberglass dries, I popped some holes in here and started spray foaming. I'm sure there's a lot better ways to do this, but I'm just going off of how I did this. I popped some holes with a drill bit, filled this with spray foam. I didn't do it the same way on this side. I wish I would have. But mainly the easiest way to do this job, everybody, is just really just save all of your everything that you can and remove the wood. Like I didn't save the actual stringers like I did on this one. I didn't save the glass, but you could see the cut in the boat where these were glued in from the factory. So all I had to do was get these to the right height, and I just set them back in the same spot and glued them in, and then fiberglassed. It makes it so much easier. So yeah, pretty much once you get that spray foamed in, you're good to start glassing, and it's solid. Just start fiberglassing everything in. This is one of my first videos that I'm going to be talking in, so I'm sorry if this is a little strange. But I'm trying to explain everything I've done the best I can. And then I'll go ahead and explain my plans, because this is very, I would say a lot of people aren't going to like the way I did this, but this is what worked for me the best and the cheapest and easiest, in my opinion. So like I showed you earlier, I saved the floor right here. I'm going to be overlaying my flooring about 2 inches past, and I'm going to grind down and fiberglass the new floor onto the old floor, and same thing in the front. And then from the factory, like you can see what I was saying, the grooves of where the old stringer was. From the factory, you just have this little fiberglass sheet that goes over all of your foam that's from the factory. I opted out to use a thick 3/4 exterior plywood for my flooring. So really, once you get this skinny in the boat right here, you don't need any more extra support right here, in my opinion. So I just stopped right here because the angle of the hull is starting to ramp up quite a bit, and it's going to be really hard to shape your board to the shape of the hull. So I just stopped it right here, flush with this where the engine cradle ends. Stopped it right here, and then the decking is just going to come over here and then overlay up here again. So yeah, I'll insert the rest of the clips once I get to that point, but this is all I got right now.